Hi, everyone. Welcome to Everyday Real English from Real Life podcast.
Welcome to Real English Podcast. I'm Annie.
And I'm Brendy. And before we get started with today's deep dive, please remember to like, subscribe, and share the Real English podcast with your friends.
So when you're learning English, you probably focus a lot on, perfect grammar, perfect sentences.
Right, the textbook stuff.
Exactly. But today, we're going to talk about something different. We're talking about the messy parts of English, the parts that make it sound, real.
We are talking about filler words, and really they aren't mistakes at all. They're more like tools, little words or sounds you use when you need a second to think.
They stop you from sounding like a robot. So our goal today is to help you understand these words so you can sound more natural and also understand native speakers a bit better.
Let's start with the most basic ones, the sounds of thinking, things like and.
Okay, so these are the sounds we make when we're trying to buy ourselves a little time, right?
Exactly. Let's take and. They seem almost the same, but there's a small difference.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Is usually for a very short pause. You're just looking for one specific word.
So I might say, I think we should meet on Tuesday.
Perfect. It's a quick little buffer, but it's a bit different. You can even hear it, right? It's longer.
Right.
It often means you're thinking about the whole next part of your sentence, not just one word.
So if someone asks me a big question, like, what did you think of the movie? I might start with, the beginning was a little slow, but the ending was great.
Exactly. You're planning your whole thought, and then there's,
This one feels more thoughtful.
It is. It's not just stalling. It shows you're really considering something, maybe making a decision.
Like if I'm at a store looking at two shirts, I like the blue one, but I think the black one is more practical.
You're showing your thought process. It's a really useful sound.
Okay, so let's move on. There are fillers that are less about thinking and more about connecting with the person you're talking to.
Yes. This brings us to, an I mean.
Let's start with I hear this one all the time.
You do. And it's not really a question. When someone says, they're often checking to see if you're following along.
So it's like saying, are you with me?
Exactly. Or they're assuming you share some common knowledge. And in casual speech, it gets shortened a lot.
Right.
So I might say, it was such a frustrating meeting, I'm looking for your agreement or sympathy.
Or I could say, we went to that cafe, the one on the corner with the green chairs.
Yes. You're assuming I know which one you're talking about. It keeps the conversation connected.
And what about I mean?
I mean is your self-correction tool. It's for when you say something and immediately want to fix it or clarify it.
Okay, so if I make a mistake, like the building is 5,000 years old.
Perfect for correcting a fact. But it's also used to explain your feelings more clearly.
Oh, so?
You might say something like, he's a good manager. He's just not very organized.
Ah, okay, so you're not taking back the first part. You're just adding more detail. You're refining your point.
Precisely. You're making your meaning more exact on the fly.
All right, this is great. Let's talk about another group of words. The ones that kind of soften things.
Yes, the diplomatic words. Let's look at well, and then sort of, and kind of.
Well is such a small word, but it does a lot of work, doesn't it?
It really does, especially at the beginning of a sentence. It often signals that the answer isn't a simple yes or no.
It's like a polite warning.
It is. So if someone asks you, did you enjoy the party? And you didn't, you probably wouldn't just say no.
No, that would be a bit rude.
Right. You'd say, well, the music was good, but it was a little too crowded for me.
It softens the negative part. It's more diplomatic.
That's the key. And then we have sort of and kind of. We often say them fast, like sorta or kinda.
And these are for when you're not 100% sure about something.
Exactly. They express uncertainty. You don't want to make a really strong statement.
So instead of, I'm going to the gym later, I could say,
I'm sort of thinking about going to the gym later.
It makes it less definite. It gives me an out if I decide not to go.
Right. Or you can use it to describe something that's not easy to define. He seemed kind of upset, but he didn't say anything.
So it makes the statement a little weaker, a little less direct.
Yes, it makes the conversation less rigid, more flexible.
Okay, so we're moving right along. What about words that add a bit of structure or maybe flavor to what we're saying?
That's a great way to put it. Let's talk about just, basically, and Anyway,
Just. This one seems simple, but I feel like it has a hidden job.
it does. As a filler, just is often used to minimize something. It makes a request, for example, sound smaller or less demanding.
Ah, okay. So instead of saying, I want to ask you a question, which can sound a bit formal,
You'd say, I just wanted to ask you a quick question. It feels much softer, less of an interruption.
or with money. It's not expensive, it's just $5.
Exactly. It implies the amount is small. Now, what about basically?
This one feels like a summarizing word.
It is. When you say basically, you're telling your listener, I'm about to give you the simple main idea.
So after a long, complicated story, I could say, basically, we missed our flight.
Perfect. It cuts through all the details and gets to the most important point. It's a shortcut.
And finally, anyway.
Anyway is your reset button. It's what you use to get the conversation back on track after you've gone off topic.
Right. So if we're talking about a project, but then start talking about the weather for 5 minutes.
You'd say, anyway, let's get back to the project. Where were we? It signals a clean transition back to the main subject.
These words are so useful for managing the flow of conversation.
They really are. But this brings us to a really important point.
Which is?
Moderation. You have to be careful not to use them too much.
Right, because even though they make you sound natural, overuse can make you sound, well, unsure of yourself.
Exactly. It all depends on the context. Using like or you know a lot with your friends is totally fine. It's part of casual speech.
But in a job interview.
In a job interview, it might make you sound less professional or less confident. The listener might start counting your ums and likes instead of listening to what you're actually saying.
So the big takeaway is to be aware. Use them when you need to, but don't let them become a habit in every single sentence.
That's the goal. Use the right tool for the right job.
Okay, I think this is a good moment to do a quick review, a little practice.
Good idea. Let's test what we've learned.
All right, question 1. If you just need a very short pause while you're speaking, what's the best sound to use?
That would be, just that quick little hesitation.
Perfect. Okay, question 2. If you say something and you immediately want to clarify it or correct yourself, which filler would you use?
That would be, as in, it's on Friday, Saturday.
Exactly. One more. Let's try a fill in the blank. I was blank hungry when I got home.
Ooh, this is a common one. You probably say I was, hungry. In that case, like is used to add emphasis.
It is. Okay, let's try a mini role play.
I'm ready.
I'll ask you a question. Do you like my new shirt? It's bright yellow.
Okay. I would probably say, well, it's very bright.
Ha! See, that well tells me everything. You're being diplomatic. You're hesitating.
I am. It's much politer than just saying, no, I hate it.
It really is. That shows how powerful these little words are.
It does. They are absolutely an essential part of sounding fluent in English. But the key, of course, is practice.
And a great way to practice is to start listening for them. When you watch movies or TV shows, pay attention to how people actually talk. Notice when they use well or I mean.
And remember that we have a free PDF worksheet for you to download. It has all these examples and some practice scenarios to help you get comfortable using them.
The more you notice them and try using them, the more natural you'll become. It's not about being perfect. It's about communicating effectively.
Keep practicing, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.